Reminder, this is the review of a manga reader. I will be saying some spoilery things throughout the review, although I will try to keep it vague. Some details will be more likely to slip out. So, I feel completely wrong about how they're pacing the series now. I don't dislike it. I just wonder now, is it going to be like Demon Slayer Season 1 or like Spy Family Season 1 with 2 parts? Because I still personally feel like Volume 7 has the perfect Season 1 ending to the point of the series. But also for that to happen, then we would need to go into short chapters with long episodes for 7 volumes to reach up to 20-something episodes. After all, Demon Slayer made chunks of anime-only material for very short, extremely fast-paced source materials in the first 2 volumes, reaching up to 7 volumes of manga material. But then again, with the way the series is pacing, it might reach up to volume 9 or 10 in the volumes if it does do a 20-something season 1, which isn't a bad idea per se either, since volume 8 and 9 are heavy into more backstory of Nazuna. I'm just mainly admitting that I was wrong because I based my theory on the seasons like Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 1, Nagatoro, and Blue Period. Anyway, on to the actual anime. 2 episodes that help introduce us to a new character, Akira. This presumptive third edge to what we assume would be another love triangle involving a vampire, especially since in the beginning Ko definitely treats her like the other woman unconsciously when trying to hang out with both her and Nazuna without the other knowing. And while it's still debatable on whether or not she tries to make any moves on the boy, her roles are more so a pillar of Ko's humanity. Again, the vampire life seems different than your typical vampire on series like Vampire Diaries or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and while others do see them as monsters or cursed beings, Akira is more so trying to push Ko back into normalcy. We don't know yet why she feels she should be responsible about his return to daily life, but we do know that she has a relatable problem, and she's trying to both understand Ko and his reasons for abandoning his societal role, while also seeming that maybe if she can save him, she can also work on herself too. Akira is an example of realizing that we don't truly know how we affect others with our actions. It's a continuous theme within the series the more you get introduced to more characters. Ko didn't realize what his friendship meant to Akira, even after all these years, probably because he himself didn't understand what makes a friend, but she certainly did, and considered him someone important in her life even when they drifted apart. I liked how they animated her, and her voice fits perfectly too with her characteristics. Someone who is laid back but also exhausted from working too hard. Her hair kind of reminds me of the girl from the Breakfast Club, where if she combed it back and made it neat, the boys would probably think she's attractive now just because she doesn't look like she just woke up anymore. She's also the first person, besides Ko's flashbacks, to bring us into the daylight. It's a nice contrast compared to being in the night with Nazuna. One thing to remember, mainly for reactors, is that these characters are not your typical slice of life characters. Not to say most of your favorites in those kind of series are, but the main thing about these characters is to remember is that they're all sort of different forms of depression. Even though the show itself is a vibe with many sexual innuendos and fan service, it does show that you can both be down on life and still have a strong libido, to say the least. But when you look at it, Ko resents society and can't sleep because he's not satisfied with living a normal life anymore. Akira is restless and unable to truly feel comfortable, which is why she constantly wakes up in the middle of the night, and Nazuna is unaccepting of her emotions and always willing to do anything to avoid them, hinting at the idea that she has the personality to rather destroy something than let it blossom. And that's only the characters we've met so far that are different forms of depression. What makes them worth their cringe moments and faults are that they try. Even if certain methods fail, they are attempting to change themselves. Sometimes they can feel selfish, sometimes they can feel selfless. Like Ko trying to understand Nazuna being upset with him, and then later only being confident in giving Nazuna what she wants because he believes it'll change him for his own benefit in becoming a vampire. Certain things to look over, the animation of Nazuna flying off after being mad at Ko looked very smooth, giving high hopes to when we start getting action in a few episodes. With how spaced out any fights moments are, I look forward to seeing how epic they maybe try to make it while acting incredibly cool and smooth about it. There's also the cute chibi cutscenes that reminds me a lot of Horimiya. Anyway, those are the main takeaways for the past 2 episodes. I'm not going to do a full review of the episodes because that's what the manga reviews were for and understanding the story, and this basically is just a manga reader saying what he likes about the adaptation and getting to do a look over on what I didn't find the first reading. Looking forward to seeing if they do the rest of Volume 2, considering it's more relationship building between Ko and Nazuna, but not so much plot heavy, so we'll see. Thanks for watching, and go read a book.